What's tonight, for? If this team get beat, we in the final four.
You ain't, he's a poor man LeBron, bro, when it comes to trades. It's like, you guys look at, oh, KD went to go
down 3 games, it's a quick sweep.
Not cap if you want to. Cap if you want to. Cap if you want to.
You know what's in me.
When I said that they let James Harden do the same thing, and let Kevin Durant do the same thing, and they're essentially letting James Harden do the same thing again.
I said Kevin Durant should have took a 50-50 blame, and Westbrook should have took a 50-50 blame too.
But motherfucking down. All right. Bust motherfucking down. Welcome back to the podcast on this beautiful ass Monday.
Yeah. Back on a Monday. Man.
What's up, Moon? Yeah, we got to get a little bit, consistency over here. But don't worry, Troy been off his game. All right, that's just the honest truth.
We back on a motherfucking Monday, nigga. And just because we're going to be here on Monday, we ain't going to be here on Tuesday.
But Troy going to be back on his game. All right, we're going to get this shit back the way it used to be. Popping the way it used to be. The debates like it used to be. The intensity the way it used to be.
I'm with all
that. You feel me? I think we need to get back to our old selves, Moon.
I'm with all the madness, bro.
Need the debates, Moon. You feel me? Feel like we went away from that for a while. Man. But don't worry. Don't worry. Hey, boys told me, one of the guys hit me up, said he want to make some moves. In order for us to make some moves, you got to make sure that we all ready to do it the right way. You feel me? With that said, report came out. Giannis has not made a decision yet.
More Giannis news. Okay. Wasn't prepared to hear that today.
Yeah, Giannis reportedly still weighing Bucks trade as the NBA teams wait for potential request. What could this mean for the league? I don't know. He's open-minded about playing for another team. He said that a couple of months ago, right? That report came out that he was comfortable.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I really don't know how to feel about this Giannis situation. Main reason being is because I'm not convinced on where he really wants to be. There are reports that he wants to come play out west, right? Now, a lot of people are speculating, Lakers may be able to make a move for him, Dallas, the Warriors, Memphis, et cetera, right? But at the same time, there are a lot of speculations, a lot of reports that Giannis wants to go to a market. He wants to go to a state that doesn't have any state income tax so that he can retain a lot more of his money, right? So automatically alerts go off, right? That's not California because California, you got state tax, right? But then there are reports saying that he will love to play with Steph and he loves the Bay Area and blah, 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 and shit like that. And Dallas might be a move as well because he loves the Texas there. It's just a whole bunch of stuff, right? Now, I'm really not too sure on where this whole chronicle is gonna end up, but I do not see Giannis staying in Milwaukee for the foreseeable future. I don't even think he's gonna make it to the end of the season. But I think the most interesting part about this is,
excuse me,
would it be wrong to say that his fate was ultimately tied to Dame's? And I don't mean that in the sense as like championship. Well, not, I guess you could say that, right? But what I mean by that is when they acquired Dame, obviously Giannis wanted Dame. Dame didn't want to be there. He wanted to go to Miami, right? But I know that thinking about Giannis and thinking about how close yet far away that second ring is, he obviously is going to want to make moves to where that's going to put him in position to at least compete for a second ring. Now, with Dame being gone and them essentially waiving him after 1-2 seasons, is it crazy to say that because Giannis or because Dame is gone, there's really no point in him staying in Milwaukee and him going on to another market to help him win another ring, because that's probably what his motive is as of right now, is out of the question. I just think that at this current point in his career, he's more focused on winning another championship. and acquiring as much accolades as it can. Because shoot, he's in these forums, shit, right? He has like what 17,000 fucking brothers, bro. They're all in these forums. They all talk shit. They all like he freaking they, regardless of what people want to believe and say, these athletes listen. They listen, and where you rank them and what you think of them, that shit matters. So a lot of the times when it comes to these discussions, a lot of these guys are basing their decisions off of that. So, hey, I mean, we'll see where he ends up going, but this is going to be interesting.
I mean, it is definitely interesting because Giannis is the type of player that could shake up the league. He could definitely, if a team could work something out to get him on a contending team, especially going to shake the fucking league up. You feel me? Don't know where he goes. There's plenty of options out there of teams that will definitely give up some good pieces that they have. Excuse me, some pieces that they have, willing to give those up to, go acquire Giannis. I know fans, out there, wanting to give up Jaylen Brown to get it to acquire Giannis. So if his name gets thrown in the hat, it will change this all season. I know a lot of good moves are made by good teams, but this guy can shake it all up and make some of those moves seem like nothing.
Jaylen Brown would be crazy.
Yeah, but I didn't see it in the Boston forums. You know how Boston fans get, they a little crazy on it. But yeah, I mean the Bucks had every opportunity to me to salvage this relationship with him. I mean, we've been hearing over the last 3-4 years that Giannis kind of was a little unhappy there. And he could ask for a trade here, he could ask for a trade there. Those talks were thrown out there. So now it's like it's coming to this boiling point. We know before they got Dame, from the reports, he was close to asking for a trade. They get Dame, and I think that saves them, right? Because now Giannis like, all right, you've given me a piece that I can ultimately play with and that I can win with. The pick and roll with him, he's going to alleviate some of the points off me. I don't have to be downhill all the time, using up all my energy, and that helps me. But the second you turn around and you cut or you waive, a Dame Lillard, and then you add some pieces, but those pieces don't qualify to what Dame Lillard was giving you and giving Giannis and alleviating from Giannis, that would make a man like that think like, hey, is it worth being here? Or is this franchise doing everything they can to make me want to be here and give me all the pieces that I need to win a championship? Because everybody needs pieces, right? I think them finally letting go of Brook Lopez is a good thing. Keeping Bobby Portis, for me personally, Bobby Portis is a great player, but I don't know if that's the right moves for the Bucks. I think we've kind of seen what Bobby Portis' ceiling is with the Bucks, unless he's going to come out and have this amazing season and start playing like Mikal Bridges and shit.
Unless Bobby turns into a problem, then I don't really.
Right. I don't think that's going to happen. So you kind of got to understand where Giannis, is at right now. If I'm a basketball player and what I'm thinking, from this guy being in this situation, like I want a championship from this franchise. I want to get back to winning a championship. We're a small market. These opportunities don't come around all the time. And then plus we're playing in a league where teams aren't winning back to back. There's a different championship every year now. So you got to kind of search yourself or search yourself, especially with all injuries going around. So yeah, for Giannis, I understand it. It's like, yo, bro, you got to get me something because there's no way I want to taste the championship, get one, and then that's it for the rest of my career. You feel me? I would like to stay here. I love Milwaukee. He even said that on his own. I love Milwaukee. He wants to be there, but you got to kind of get this guy the pieces he needs to make it work.
Yeah.
You feel me?
I think that comes with maturity too, though. Like a lot of time, not saying that Giannis is a maturity thing, but I think when it comes to the teammates that he may want on his team, as far as like pieces that are going to help, right? I think it comes with a lot of that has to do with maturity. There have been a lot of reports since Chris Middleton had left that he wishes that they would have went not necessarily too old, but a more mature veteran other than, a Kyle Kuzma, because there's been a lot of turmoil in the locker room due to a Kyle Kuzma. And a lot of the times when you hear that, when you see that, a lot of the times it's really just because it's a maturity level and it's a maturity thing. And I think a lot of people in that locker room had a problem with Kyle Kuzma because of how he may rub off or he may come off on a lot of people. But And I think that is the biggest thing, right? You add a Dame Lillard who is more mature in his own right, who's been in the league for a while, and is coming to obviously win a championship, right? But you have a Kyle Kuzma who I guess you can kind of chalk up to where he feels like he may feel like his shit don't stink a little bit, right? He is a champion himself in his own regard. So he may feel a different way, and he may feel like he has a different type of way to help the team win because, you know, he is coming off of he is a champ. Like I say, he's a champion within his own right. So I think that there might have been like some type of clash or some type of just dynamic between one side of the locker room and the other, just like there happens to be a lot in a lot of programs, to where it might have just turned Giannis off. And just looking at it from a career standpoint, at this point in your career, like I said, it's really just about, it's not even about money anymore. It's about winning and just where you can win at and where you can feel comfortable winning at in multiple factions. So, like I said, it's definitely going to be interesting, especially if he ends up going somewhere on the West. I just hope it's not cliche. You know what I mean? Like a cliche spot to where everybody's, oh, I knew he was going there. Like, I just want it to be like a, you know what I mean? Like a low-key a splash. You know what I'm saying? Something we haven't really seen or experienced in a while.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely gonna keep our eyes on it. It's definitely, something to definitely pay attention. Giannis isn't a role player. He's a superstar in this league. So when that guy is moving, you definitely want to pay attention to who he's, where he's moving to, because it can affect a lot of teams, a lot of people's aspirations to win a championship, especially if he goes to the West, if he goes to a team that's on the borderline, like the Kings, like, or something like that. I'm saying it's the best fit. Or the Grizzlies, right? Jai and fucking, that shit could turn up, out there if you get the right pieces to fill the rest of it in. So it's interesting to pay attention to. I mean, this is what we like on this side of being sports fan. We like paying attention to stuff like that. But moving on, De'Aaron Fox signed a new contract. He got a contract extension. What is it? I think 4 years, $229 million. And guess what? Wembanyama is due for an extension next offseason.
Yep.
Which is very interesting. And so is Devin Vessel.
Well, shit, hey. It looks like
2 young promising players, yeah. 2 starters. Going to get paid. So it's going to be something to watch out there. But how you feeling about De'Aaron Fox getting that 4-year $229?
I mean, hey. It's the contract that he wanted ultimately, that the Kings just weren't prepared to give him. But you remember we had this conversation, I think a few months back, about De'Aaron Fox and him wanting certain lump sums of money, and how what comes with that money, of course, right, it is going to come with a different level of play. And I think we both eloquently expressed that when we talked about De'Aaron Fox and him being traded and him his contract disputes, et cetera, et cetera. So obviously, the Spurs want to lock him in long term, right? You have him, you got a Victor Wembanyama, so obviously you want to get that locked in and get that chemistry going early. But I just think, for me personally, now you have to justify the money, right? A lot of people in this league make a lot more than I guess that they should. So when it comes to a De'Aaron Fox, I'm not saying that he isn't one of the best point guards in this league, best young point guards in this league, because he is, and he's been that consistently. But when you compare him to the likes of a Shea, when you compare him to the likes, I guess, of a Jalen Brunson, when you compare him to, all the other guys that's in his position, even Tyrese Halliburton, I guess you can grade it by team at that point. But at the same time, that leads to team success. So I just know a lot of people are going to look at this contract, and if he and the Spurs don't go out and have an astounding season like everybody's expecting them to have, because you get De'Aaron for the full season, you're going to get a healthy Wembanyama back. It's a lot of people are going to, obviously question that contract. But I mean, with Victor Wembanyama coming down the pipe, it just makes you makes you guess about how big his contract is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, Definitely gonna have to pay Victor.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely gonna have to pay Victor.
But I mean, it's a good thing that the Spurs got him locked in long term.
They're saying it could be a 5-year, $271 million extension for Victor. And if he makes hold on, and if he wins MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, or is named in the All-Star team, the extension values would rise to $326 million.
Wow. Would that make him the highest paid?
Damn near close to it. If not,
Goodness gracious.
I don't know. But we can always put.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, I mean, shit. Hey, I think the Spurs feel like they have a legitimate roster. I'm not saying that they have a roster to compete for a championship, but I feel like they have a roster. I feel like they feel like they have.
Yeah,
a
that would make him the highest paid.
Yeah, I figured that would be.
Yo, guaranteed is crazy though. Evan Mobley has a guarantee of $258 million.
Ooh.
Evan Mobley.
Defense Player of the Year though. So I mean,
Then you got Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They're second on the list. The second highest guarantees. Then it's Scotty Barnes, right? See, we ain't saying Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown numbers because those are stars. You feel me? Superstar star. Scotty Barnes is 224. 224 million guaranteed. So is Frank Wagner. So is Cade Cunningham.
He did get paid.
So is Cade Cunningham. Jamal is at 207. Anthony's at 202. Halliburton's at 202. Larry Markkanen is at 195. Embiid is at 175. Devin Booker's at 177. Tyrese Maxey's at 168. LaMelo's at 168. Desmond Bain's at 163. Jaren Jackson's at 150. Pascal is at 146. Spengun with it 145. Sabonis is at 140. You got Bam at 138. Emmanuel Quickly is at 130. OG Anunoby is at 127. Zion's at 126. Ja Morant's at 126. Darius Garland's at 126. Jalen Suggs, 123 guaranteed.
Yeah, I remember he got his.
Damn.
Orlando paid us some chicken, man. They paid
shit. Right now, Jalen Suggs got a higher guarantee than Steph Curry, Nikola Jokic, Anthony Davis, Kawhi.
Yeah.
Paul.
I do remember Steph restructured though.
Yeah.
Halfway through the
Steph has 2 years left. And Jalen Suggs, this is a 5-year deal too. He just got a new contract. Jalen Brunson's 113. Giannis is 112. Anthony Davis 112. So when you start going down, you got Nick Claxton's at 69. Only 69 million guaranteed. You feel me? Alex Caruso, that nigga got a guarantee.
Caruso did get paid. Caruso got paid.
Yeah, Caruso did get paid.
Shea got paid. Jalen got paid.
Trae Young is all the way down here, 71.
Chet got paid.
45. But he only got 2 years left on his deal.
Whew, they was throwing out some chicken. See, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Yeah. Orlando, OKC, they was throwing out some chicken, man, for sure.
Cam Johnson got 43 guaranteed, but 2 years left on his deal. He's gonna be making more than that.
Oh yeah, when
his contract up. Yeah, and if I'm the Nuggets, I'm trying to extend him. So
I was gonna say, didn't Cam Johnson leave Brooklyn?
Yeah, he got traded to the Nuggets.
Oh yeah, no, he's gonna get it.
They swapped no back for Cam.
That's true. He's gonna get a bag.
We should make no back t-shirts. No back junior.
Oh yeah, no, Cam's about to get a bag.
Yeah, and you know who else got a bag? A couple of days ago, Mikal Bridges with the Knicks. Yeah, 150.
I thought that was pretty solid by the Knicks. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, not a bad deal.
Yeah,
not a bad deal at all.
And just looking at the Knicks team, right? Jalen, Cat, right? Mikal, Josh, OG. That obviously is a good team, right? Now, obviously, I think with firing the coach, you feel like another coach is going to get you above the hump, right? And obviously they feel like that coach is Mike Brown, which I do think that's going to take their defense to another level. But I think it's important to lock down the stars that you have on your team, especially when they mold and like mend well together, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have that chemistry on court and off court. Looking at Mikal Bridges, looking at Josh Hart, looking at Cat, and even though the turmoil between Cat and some people in the locker room, also the turmoil between some of the players and the front office and Jalen Brunson's dad, I think a lot of times that can be overshadowed with the personal chemistry that comes on the court. And when you look at those players, I think that as the seasons go on, when you can lock those guys in for long term, that chemistry just gets better. It's no secret that the Knicks are a contender and continue to grow and be that with every single acquisition or every single player that they lock in long term. I just think that with them hiring a Mike Brown and then extending their players, they are set and ready to say, hey, we're not going anywhere, right? We are the Knicks. It's time for championship glory to finally make its way back to New York. And it's time for, the Knicks to be the talk of the town or the talk of the United States again, and one of the biggest markets, but play like one of the biggest markets and deserve to be looked at as one of the biggest markets. And it starts here, right? It starts here by solidifying and locking in your special players for long term. So good on you guys, right? Especially when we look at, the Knicks owner, James Dolan, we understand the type of person that he is. So I'm just glad that we can have basketball with the Knicks competitive again. It just makes for a lot of better. It just makes for a lot of better stories, a lot better sports headlines. Gives us a lot more to talk about. And when you have a competitive Knicks team, then it's shit that the garden is lit. Yeah, nah, that's just good for basketball. So yeah, good on New York, man. Shit. If you can keep that team together, you never know what can happen. Something might pop. You never know. Shit. Injuries happen every single year.
Hey, the Thunder got one. Boston got one. Nuggets got one. Bucks got one.
Shit.
All in an injured, playoffs. Get your money, black brother. That's all I'm saying. Fuck the Knicks. But Mikal Bridges is a great ad. I did tell my coworker Brian. I wish you was watching right now so I could tell you to your face. I told you Bridges was inconsistent. You was telling me no, he wasn't. And I'm telling you, he is inconsistent. And he was like, not this playoffs. He hasn't been inconsistent. Not that much in the play. No, he's been inconsistent. So I'm glad to see him get his money. But at his own admission, he's been inconsistent. I would like to see him, become more of a solid, consistent player for the Knicks. I don't want to see the Knicks win. I'm being objective right now. Because I can do that. They do have a good squad. I don't know how far they go with Brunson and Cat. Not saying that they need to change anything, but maybe those pieces do click. I would go get DiVincenzo back. Add some more shooting to that, especially when you get in the playoffs. You could really, take the pressure off of Brunson with your shooters like you did the season before. Previous season before when you had DiVincenzo on the team. But overall, I'm liking the moves that I'm seeing from the East. I think those teams out there realize that it's not Boston is the team to beat. They're injured right now, so they're going to be out the way for a little bit. This is a lot of teams' times. I think, the Knicks is there. I think the Pistons are there. I think the Pistons are looking at it like, yo, we can make just as good of a run as anybody else. And don't think the Knicks, because the Knicks are right there. They're top, I would say top 3, top 4 contender in the East right now for a championship. It just depends on how the 76ers play, how the Bucks play, and it was the Heat. We'll see if the Heat could get back to their form, but yeah, they're setting themselves up for success. I don't know how the coaching change though is going to hurt them, if it hurts them in any way. That is something to definitely watch out for. Let's see what kind of offense he brings, what's his rotation is going to be like. Is it taking the ball out of Brunson's hands now a lot more? Is he resting them a lot more? Is he depending on his bench a lot more? How does that work out? There's still a lot of questions for him. It's not always about the roster and the pieces that you have, but how they work together.
True. And I think, honestly, even now, you can't sleep on a team like the Celtics. I know they are essentially hobbled right now, right? They're missing their star, right? But with how well that team is coached, that is a team that you cannot sleep on. With how the play of Jalen Brunson, you got Peyton Pritchard, right? They still have
Jalen Brown,
right? You still have a really good roster, right? So it's like you can't sleep on a championship team that's 1 year, 2 years removed from championship. Like, yes, their star is injured, but that I'm not even gonna lie to you. With a team like Boston, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. With how good they're coached, with all the pieces that they have, they were one of the deepest, if not the deepest roster in the league for the past 3 or 4 years. That has to be taken into consideration, everybody. Like, I don't want everybody, and that's crazy because I know a lot of people are going to sit here and think that, oh yeah, they're missing their star, they're hobbled, they're not going to be as good. No, that is not a team to where you guys can look at that team and be like, yeah, nah, they don't have their star, so we can probably get a few. Nope, not that one. Not that one. That narrative may work, and that's the thing that's different between Boston, right? That narrative may work with Detroit. That narrative may work with the Pacers. That narrative may work with the Knicks. That narrative may even work with Orlando. That doesn't work with Boston. And we've seen it time and time again. That's the reason why I'm saying it. We've seen it time and time again. We've seen them perform without both their stars on the court. We've seen them perform without one of their stars, either or, Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum. We've seen it, right? And for a lot of people, that came as a shock because if we remember early in Joe Mazzulla's career, they were calling for his job.
They were.
His game plan, his halftime adjustments, coming out of halftime, coming out of
time. Give me E-Man back.
Yeah. So the fact that he has that team well coached like that to the point where even without their stars, they can blow you out by 30 to 40, damn near 50. That ain't a team that I want to take lightly. That's not a team that I'm going to sit up there and circle on my – nah, nigga, y'all might want to lock in for that one too. I just feel like with the East growing and being as competitive as it is, there's not a team that you can really take lightly, right? Even with Tyrese Halliburton being out for the Pacers, I don't think you can take them lightly either. With all of those shooters over there and
I think losing Turner kind of hurts.
It does. That's true. Them losing Miles, I'm not even gonna lie. Them losing Miles.
Because now Siakam got to do more down low.
Yep. It's gonna bring more it's gonna bring more, pressure on.
I don't know.
You know what I mean? So
Pacers might be fucked up a little bit.
You know what I mean? I think that a lot of the times, a lot of people look at a star getting hurt, especially a guy like Jason Tatum, and thinking that, oh, well, we just got a green light. I don't think so.
Go out there and get your ass, man.
You know what I mean? Like you might go out there and get did in real quick, thinking that you got an easy walk. Nah, it might do.
You can't see it because they blurred out, but the Boston memorabilia is back there. I just want you to know that.
It might kick y'all ass, bro. You feel me? And I just
sound like Bird is back.
And how competitive it is, it's not. I don't think really any team is a walk in the park like that.
Hell no.
So you got to be careful with any and every team, all of them. Of course, not the teams with the bottom of the league, but even then, shit, we don't know where Trae Young's gonna end up. It's because he's basically gone out of Atlanta. So that could he could go to another team in the East. He can go to a team in the West, and if he goes to a team in the East, that makes them instantly more competitive than what they were, depending on the team that he goes to, right? So a lot of the times people think that the East is just going to be this dog, this easy, walk in the park. Nope. I don't think so, especially not this year.
Hey, let's see what the Knicks do. This might be their year, Their little kryptonite might be out the whole season. So this might be their chance to stand up against the elite. You feel me? You got to take these opportunities. Not saying Boston is an easy, team to get through with Tatum, without Tatum, but the Knicks, I'm being objective here. If you guys want that chip, this is your best time to go get it. All right.
Very true.
But I got some shocking news that's shocking to me. So, and I don't know how true it is, but my motto here on this podcast that if it comes out of NBA players' mouth, I am willing to listen. All right. So apparently, in 2021 to 2022, Nikola Jokic was considering retiring.
Okay, so look, I did hear that.
And DeMarcus Cousins said it. And, that's a black brother that keeps it real. So I'm inclined to believe it, folks. And we all know that Jokic isn't a basketball kind of loving guy. Like he plays the game so nonchalantly, like, I don't give a fuck about being out here. Nigga won the championship and was in Serbia the next day. You feel me? Nigga went straight home to ride a pony. To ride his horse. You feel me? Like, that's not a man that loves ball. You feel me? But it is a little shocking to me with how good Jokic is. And looking at it in hindsight, him getting the championship, him getting a $300 million contract. And this is before he got the $300 million contract.
Mm-hmm.
Moo, how you feeling about the news? And do you think he would have been mad if he would have been like, all right, I'm out, and they would be like, yo, we're just gonna give you $300 million?
You want to know what's crazy? I feel like this, like you said, this definitely has some truth to it because DeMarcus Cousins was, on the Nuggets in 2021, 2022. So, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't doubt it, right? Because this is the same dude that cried when his horse won his championship back home, and was nonchalant as fuck when they fucking won the NBA championship. Like, the man was in tears, full on ball when his horse won.
Not to cut you off, I want to read DeMarcus Cousins' quote. He said, "When I was in Denver, our locker room were next to each other. And I don't remember who at the time had signed an extension, but I'm like, such and such signed for this money. Yours is going to be crazy." He's like, cuz I honestly think I might retire after this contract. I said, leave $300 million on the table? Man, you out your fucking mind. I said, sign that contract and get fat at worst. Don't pass up $300 million, bro.
Yeah, why?
Jokic did get fat.
That's just true.
So, he did get big, bro. So again, I don't think DeMarcus Cousins is lying. But finish what you were saying, Moo. I'm sorry.
And that's the thing, bro. I do feel like he was contemplating retirement, bro. Like, think about it. I think at the time he was on his second MVP.
I think in 2021, 2022, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, bro, I feel like he feels like he
wanted to lay in the valley with his horses.
You know what I mean? I feel like him in his mind, he accomplished everything that he personally
That's a real nigga right there.
Right? And I think obviously him winning the NBA championship is probably I guess the icing on the cake, but for somebody like him and for somebody like other people and other players like him, they've been winning championships since they was teenagers. So winning another championship in another country probably doesn't hit the same because it's nigga, I've been doing this shit since I was damn near a kid. You know what I mean? Especially on a professional level, a lot of these guys been playing since they was 15, 16, 17 over there in that type of country, in that type of environment. So when you're looking at the Lukas, when you're looking at the Jokic's, when you're looking at all of these guys that are coming international, the Victor Wembanyama's, they're coming off of championship pedigrees, right? So an NBA championship, yeah, for us and for everybody born in America, it may be oh yeah, most definitely that shit is fucking lit. But for them, they're like, nigga, I'm just gonna add this shit to my other fucking trophies and go back to doing what the fuck I was doing in my home country because whatever that is, you know what I mean? It's more important for not just me, but probably for my country, right? His horse winning is probably the first time in, you know what I'm saying, his country's history, and now they're gonna get all kind of crazy. We don't know shit. That shit may come with all kind of royalties and all kind of crazy shit. You know what I mean? So who's to say? Yeah, and I just feel like if he was to retire and walk away from the game, even now, the narratives would still be oh yeah, Jokic is still one of the best players that ever come to the NBA, and he's still one of the best big men, and blah blah blah, all this shit like that. And he really didn't give a fuck about the game. He was just
It's funny because I saw this clip a couple of days ago, and it was from another podcast, and the guy was like, "Tell me who better than Jokic?" And he rattled off some names, bro. Sean Kemp, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace. Like, he was going crazy with the name. But I do agree. I think like if he does walk away the game, he's definitely one of the greats. Where he falls in the hierarchy of greats, I don't know. As you guys know, if you don't know me here, I don't judge. I don't rank active players. But it's interesting that he would want to retire because to me, because I grew up kind of playing basketball and a lot of street ball. The name was well known in the streets over here playing street ball. Bro, that's like to shit for me. See a guy like that with all that talent, and it's like, fuck, he won't walk away from the game. Shit, let me just get in the game. Yeah, like. But I do understand with a guy like Jokic, he isn't, like Moolah was saying, he isn't one of those type of guys that, gets hyped up with this type of, environment. To run off home and go ride with his horses. He even said here, like, he wants to lay in the valley with his horses. And I don't blame him. That's the type of guy, laid back, chill guy he is. So I'm going to say if it's true, right, what DeMarcus Cousins said is true, then I'm guessing that when is Jokic's contract up?
That's a good question.
Because I think that's probably going to be the last we see of Jokic.
Honestly, I'm not.
Yeah, and I would probably go out and say, yeah, because his last season under contract is 2028.
I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised at all.
He's making 62 that year.
Because looking
62 million that year. Almost 63, 62.8. You feel me? Like that, he gonna ride off in the sunset with a horse. I wouldn't be surprised when he retire and they give him his retirement speech if he rides off on his horse. Well, not his horse, because if I'm him, I'm not bringing my horse from Serbia all the way over here just to ride off and have to bring it back and put it through all that stress. Wouldn't do that. But I would get a horse. Ride that motherfucker out.
You got to think about it like this, right? In 2028, he'll have been in the league 13 years? 13, 14 years, possibly, around there. 3 MVPs, 1 championship, maybe 1 championship. We don't know if they go on to win another one in that time span, but 3 MVPs, 1 championship, 1 Finals MVP. Yeah, no, he retires, bro. That nigga's like, yeah, no, fuck this. I'm out. I got my money. I got my accolades. I got my little championship.
I'm not LeBron James. I'm not this motherfucker.
I'm gone. You feel me? I got my championships in my hometown. What else do I need, bro? I don't need nothing else. Yeah, nah. 2028. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I for sure be seeing him come out randomly, bro. Randomly, just like, yeah, nah. This is my last season. I'm retiring after this season. Ten seasons in right now. He's 29. It'll be what 33, 34, roughly around that time. Yeah. He'll pack it in. That nigga gonna be like, yeah, no, I'm good.
That nigga signed a 3-year, $4 million deal in 2015 with the Nuggets. Damn, they got him for cheap. Damn.
Nuggets low-key be throwing out chicken too, though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
3 years for $4 million? They got him for cheap, but he wasn't who he was, and then he blossomed. And then they gave that nigga 5 years, 147. And then it was like, you know what? You're not even worth that. We're gonna give you another 5. Worth 276. I mean, but yeah, I'm saying if what DeMarcus Cousins saying is true, that they had that conversation in the locker room, just him and Joker, and he's saying he wanted to ride off to the lay up in the valley with the horses. I'm gonna say when his contract is over, he definitely walks away from the game. because he just doesn't love it. He's not and I'm not saying he don't love it like he doesn't get up and work his ass off to play the game. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he doesn't love it to the point where he's going to spend 20, 22, 25 years or 18 years playing the game. He's going to, like, he wanted to get out. What he said, in what year was this? 3 years ago? Mm-hmm. 3 years ago, he wanted to get out.
This was before he won his championship, right?
I think, yeah, because they won 22-23, no?
Yep.
So, this guy's out, man. But, hey, it's going to be a great debate because, you know these fans and Facebook warriors, they're going to go crazy on where Jokic placement is and how,
especially where he ranks all time, where he ranks amongst centers.
And then I can't wait who's the Robert Horry and the John Havlicek of the conversation when it comes to Joker. Because it's going to be somebody, the Dwight Howard, somebody's going to be in there like, but the White was dominant. He ain't got no championship.
Well, he got one.
How they're going to say that don't work. He was on the bench. You know how fans are, Moo. Let's not do that.
That's true.
We used to have this segment where we call the fans out. We might bring it back. You feel me?
I mean, that's true. We might have to because they can't see. I can't let them do that, bro. Because we're not gonna sit up here and act like Dwight and JaVale wasn't pivotal in that championship run in the bubble. Oh yeah, 100%. But they weren't out there doing what Joker doing. You see what Joker doing, triple doubles. The White Howard wasn't getting no. Bro, the debate it's gonna happen. It might be small because they're occupied by two other men, but I can't wait to see what the word is on Joker if he walks away in a couple of years and he's just like, I'm done. And that's it for me. Where people place him in the hierarchy of the top 100 players to ever play the game. He gonna surprise the fuck out of everybody.
When is the NBA dropping their top 100?
That's a good.
Because we got Bleacher Reports, which I don't give a shit about.
I've been seeing something pop up on fucking.
When is the NBA dropping theirs? We want to know what the NBA think about it.
Seeing some shit pop up on the NBA.
While Moo figure that out, I got another report. Now we kind of talked about Jonathan Kuminga last week on the pod and how they were looking for a trade. The Suns and the Kings, I think, were the two teams that was interested. Well, talks have stalled with the Suns. The Warriors are not going to take the package the Suns are trying to give them because they do want a first-round pick for Kuminga. So now it's reported that Kuminga won't be traded. Trades aren't going nowhere this offseason. For much of the offseason, it appears Kuminga could be on his way out of Golden State via signing trade. Last week, the signing trade talks hasn't gained any traction. So, Golden State could be holding on to young man Kuminga for another year. But what happens if he doesn't sign the deal with Golden State? They just what happens? Like, if he's just like, nah, I'm not signing that motherfucker.
I don't know. Maybe he plays. I don't know if he plays for a minimum. I don't really know how that works. Okay.
Do they franchise tag him?
Can you franchise tag somebody in the NBA?
No.
So I was like, I don't know how that works.
No. But that would be funny if they just franchise tag that nigga because that's what the NFL do. Like the NFL just franchise tag you, nigga. Like you ain't going nowhere, nigga.
Because you can't force the nigga to sign a contract.
No, you cannot.
You feel me? So it's like I don't know how that works.
But so does he then not become a free agent, and then they would have to match any offer?
That's what I'm assuming.
Wouldn't because I remember seeing a report last week where it was like the Warriors' worst nightmare could be a qualifying offer.
Does he become restricted or does he not become restricted?
I think he would become restricted because I think they still have his bird rights, so they would have a chance to match any offer anybody gives him. Mm-hmm. But if a team gives him, because I know he's looking for 4 years, approximately 90 mil. Okay. So let's say the Kings were to just offer him, even though they just paid, no, it's not Kings. Fox is on the Spurs. Let's say the Kings were to offer him a 5-year or 4-year, $90 million deal. The Warriors can't match that.
Not at this present moment, though.
Yeah, but then so what do you do?
And that's the thing. It's like I've never like experienced this situation, bro. Like, do you just is he like a free agent at that point? Like, is he just like sitting out? Does he come to? I'm legitimately confused on like how that process really works and what happens if because it's apparent that he doesn't want to be there and doesn't want to sign the contract. Like he's made that very clear, and he said he's betting on himself, right? So, excuse me. I don't know, but like I'm confused as to how that works if he doesn't sign. Like, where do we go from there, right? Because it's like we said, this isn't the NFL where they can just franchise tag him and be like, yeah, we're just gonna put you on the franchise tag. Like, is he gonna get a minimum? Is he gonna be a restricted free agent? And like you said, somebody can be able to make an offer on him, and then the Warriors can match that offer. Like, I don't know. The only thing that I'm getting from this Jonathan Kuminga thing is that the Warriors are trying to maintain a lot of their youthful pieces in the event that they can make an offer for a Giannis. Now, I don't know how true that is because they've already, I guess, came out and said that they're quote unquote out of the Giannis sweepstakes, but teams said things all the time, and a lot of the time that stuff don't be true. So that's the only thing I can really think of is them trying to maintain Jonathan Kuminga because they have a lot of other young talent they kind of packaged him together with in order to get him somewhere else in order to bring in another big star, another big name superstar, whatever the case may be. So I don't know. I think that their relationship is severed, honestly. Like, I think as much as they say that they're not going to trade him, I do think a trade is going to happen, honestly, sooner than later.
I mean, so what I'm reading here, right, they're saying because he's restricted, the most likely way out for him is a sign and trade, right? Okay. Because Golden State has a chance to match any offer that a team gives him. But so that takes me back to my original question. If a team offers him 4 years, 90 mil, and Warriors can't offer it, then they just lose him. So if I'm Kuminga's agent, to me, it's not that complicated. If I'm talking to the Kings, I'm talking to the Suns, hey, just offer him a 4 or 5 year deal, 100 million. They can't fucking match it. Yeah. And if they can't match it, he's yours. You don't even have to do a sign and trade.
Yeah.
And then if we do a sign and trade, Golden State would have to take less because you can't match the offer.
True.
So you either take what I give you at this point, or you lose him for nothing. So and this is
kind of where they're at right now.
This is what kills me about Golden State. And I'm not saying Kuminga, Poole, GP, was another young nigga y'all guys had over. It's like 2 young guys y'all had over there. That was really thriving off that bench. And it was looking like Golden State had a future. And then to me on the outside looking in, and I'm not saying it's the only factor, but to me the biggest factor is they chose Draymond in so much of these situations, right? Like you had to pay Draymond, so Clay has to go. You can't give Kuminga money now because you got Steph under a big contract. You got Dre under $100 million contract now. Where do you find the money? Then you got to get rid of Poole because the incident with him and Draymond. So you choose Draymond in that situation. You paid Draymond. You choosing him over Clay. Like, and now it's like Kuminga's like, yo, what's up? Like, it's my turn around. Like y'all. And I said this last week. Y'all promised me all this shit. It's gonna be my team. You're gonna let me develop. But it's like to me, it's like, yo, I'm doing the best I can in what you're giving me. But it's like you still ain't giving me nothing.
True.
So I think it's best for me to just move on. And it's like the Warriors are just, to me, on the other end, like, nah, fuck that, nigga. We spent our draft pick on you. Nigga, you gonna do what we say. You gonna stay here and play. But it's like, no, if I'm Kuminga's agent, I'm like, all right, so y'all can't work out a sign and trade. All right, so just offer him 4 years, 90 million, or 5 years, 100, and they ain't gonna be able to match it, and then you'll get him for free.
Yeah, I mean. And I think multiple things can be true at the same time, right? I think a lot of the times when you look at what happened with the Warriors, Draymond is definitely at the center of it. Which when it came to the $100 million contract, I definitely feel like he himself should have bargained to take less, only because the outlook of the team, if we could have brought in somebody else, right? And now, right, you got to pay Jimmy, you got to pay, all of these, you got to pay Kuminga, right? You want to bring in a true big man, which you're going to have to pay. And I just think taking a pay cut would have worked out a lot better, especially for Draymond's case, right? And then even for, an instant like Clay, right? I understand, you want to get your money, right? But at this point in time in these veterans' careers, right, y'all should be thinking about taking more pay cuts instead of, I got to get on my money now, right? You got to start thinking about that to where now we can add some young pieces that's going to help us win, right? Because at the end of the day, that was the biggest thing, right? Everybody wants to win championships. So when you can put your pride aside and put your ego aside and I'm going to take this pay cut and not go out for the max that I'm eligible for, then that shows a lot more willingness to win, I guess. And I just feel like at this current point in time, we can't sit up here and expect big things when guys are specifically looking out for themselves, right? You got Draymond with his 4-year, $100 million deal. They offered Clay the $200-some million deal, or the deal that he essentially got in Dallas, but he turned it down because of obviously the state taxes, right? He wanted the max, but they weren't going to give him the max. They offered him what Dallas offered him, but he felt, I'm going to get more money in Dallas, even with the same contract, because I get to maintain more of that money due to no state taxes, right? So there's that factor. But even then, it's you shouldn't even be going after the max based off the season that you had these past 2 seasons, right? And the vitriol and turmoil that was being caused in the locker room because of you. Not my words, people from the locker room, right? They have specifically said that. So I just feel like in that sense, you guys that came together, right, and had these meetings, right? We're going to go get a KD. We're going to, do this and go on one last hoorah in 2022. And that's going to be an important championship. Y'all should have came together we probably need to take with some way, shape, or form a pay cut. We probably need to start bargaining off so we can extend our longevity so that we can probably try to cap off another championship, right? And I'm not saying Steph hasn't been part of that, but even then, him being the leader of the team, you know what I mean? I just feel hey, shit, you might have been the one to kick it off and everybody else kind of follow suit.
So you are right. 2 things can be true at the same time, but I'm going to think about it from Clay's point. So we see this a lot in the NBA, right? Players take pay cuts, right? Tim Duncan, Dirk, and on the back end, I think even Kobe, you might be able to throw it in. On the back end, they get this big contract where that team is paying them for what they've done, not what they're doing or going to do. Yep. Right. So if I'm in Clay's shoes and you said my last 2 years I shouldn't be asking for a max, but I took pay cuts all the way down. I took pay cuts all the way down so you could pay Steph, so we could retain Draymond, so we could bring KD in. I took pay cuts all around. So I feel like Clay felt like at the time I'm sitting at this table, you got me and Draymond sitting here because Draymond's coming up in a year or so. So you got me and Draymond sitting there. It's either you pay me or you pay him, right? And if I'm sitting there, I'm all right, me and Draymond have been not getting paid to standard, right? Because I think that was Draymond's thing too. He wanted the $100 million because he wanted to be paid for what he has done, right? So if Draymond is going to get paid $100 million for what he has done, don't you think Clay was more important to those championships than Draymond was?
Absolutely. But
so if I'm and you can even hit him with the stretch it out, you feel me, the luau thing, right? But I feel like Clay is just bro, what I sacrifice, I should be able to get my bag now. But then you don't give me the bag in the sense of what is needed here for me to stay, but then you go and you give Draymond that bag. And I think Clay is pissed about that because it's I was crucial to us being able to get a KD with my pay cut, and like you say, Steph should start it. Draymond should have been able to take a pay cut. You're all right there. All those guys should have been able to take a pay cut. But at some point, in the history of being on a team, players get paid for what they have done in the past and not for what they're doing. I think we even look at a good example might be Gilbert Arenas.
That's true. That's true.
He got paid when he got that 100. I think it was 160. 160. It was off of what he did, not what he was doing.
Yep. But I think the thing that is different with Clay is he didn't willingly take his pay cut, right? And I think that was the reason why that drew so much vitriol, not just between him and the team, but also
don't matter. I still the one that had to make the sacrifice, whether I was willing to or not. I'm still the one that grinded it out. I took the sacrifice, still played up to my game, didn't let it affect me, help us get out there and win championships. Because Clay was out there hitting big shots.
That's true.
It wasn't just KD and Steph. Clay was doing his part out there. So yeah, he might have, whatever the kid, like at some point, to me, it's a respect thing, and I don't feel like Clay felt like that team valued him and respected him the same way he respected them, knowing what he has sacrificed for them, whether he was willingly giving the pay cut or not willingly. Yeah, he had no choice to give the pay cut. Fucking KD was coming, but he could have just been like, fuck it, you got KD, I went out, and just left and didn't help them with those championships. And who's to say that they go on to win too?
But you know
KD history. But
you remember that's not the reason why he had to take the pay cut, though.
Well, he took it because Steph had to get paid.
The media, Clay was up for a supermax, and all he needed was I think it was a first team or a second team. The media literally voted him out that year the year that he went absolutely ballistic. I think it was during the second championship, and because of that vote, because he didn't make it all NBA, I think all NBA first team, and they put him second team or third team, he lost out on like $225 million. That's the reason why that's the reason why Stephen A is adamant. He was like, if I was Klay Thompson, I would never speak to the media ever because you niggas cost me $225+ million.
Yeah, and I do vaguely remember that, but I'm a double down. Absolutely. At the end of that motherfucker. I'm not saying Golden State give him $225 million, but you got to give him something because he grinded it out. Right. Like if he had that bunker season and the media fucked him, I think that would go more in his case to say, "Hey, nigga, pay me."
Exactly, and that was the reason why that's the point I was kind of getting at, right? Like that proverbial forced to take a pay cut, right? Drew a line between him and the media, but at the same time, like you said, it drew a line, or like I said, it drew a line between him and his team because yeah, sure. They didn't vote me first team, and I get that. That may be in my contract. But on that back end, we should be paying based off respect, period. Based off respect, period. We should be paying based off respect.
And hell yeah, if I'm Clay and Moose, you know that you're a competitor, bro. Like if you was in your prime, nigga, and then you got injured, and that injury affected you, and niggas start treating you away, like with Derek, I think it was Nick Young said it. Not Nick Young, Jeff Teague said it on his podcast that he was talking shit, I think, to Derek Fisher. Yep. And Derek Fisher had told the coach, tell that nigga to meet me at half court. And he was like, yo, don't be treating me like that. Like, don't act like that, nigga. I was nice once. I was nice, nigga. You don't understand. Like, the NBA is about roles. And he said later on down the road, I found that shit out the hard way. But like, yeah, the NBA is 100% about roles, but there's no way I pay Draymond and I fucking prioritize Draymond in every situation. So when you say Clay could be in that locker room, like, oh yeah, nigga, I'm this and I'm that. Yeah, he this and that. And you want to know why he got to be in there doing that? Because he don't feel like they still see him that way. They treat him different. They fucking treat him like he not that. Even though he not that, you ain't supposed to treat him that way. Yeah. The man fell down to help you guys win. You feel me? Just like I say with KD, it's the same thing. KD fucking got injured, rushed back, fucked this shit up even more to try to help Golden State win another championship. Like, but we don't give the guys no credit for that. And then on the back end, it's just like, all right, fuck you, Clay, go do your thing. Like, to where he got to go somewhere where he don't even want to be there. Like, he don't want to fucking be on the Mavs. He want to be in Golden State with his boys, the ones he won championships with. But you can't figure it out. And then to me, that's significant in this conversation because to me, Kuminga hasn't done as much, but you're still doing the same thing to him. Like, you're still kind of like, all right, we want to pay you, but we don't want to pay you. We want to pay you, but we can't pay you. And then we really don't want to let you go. Yeah, just take this money. And it's like, yo, no, for what I'm doing and what I'm supposed to do here, and what like, nah, bro, I want to get paid. And it's like everybody should be able to get paid, but you always take care of your guys, bro. That's what make guys stay with you for a long time. And I just don't see, how you set that precedent. And then, another guy that's like a Klay Thompson in a Klay Thompson shoes feels comfortable there with that, ownership and wanting to feel like, all right, yeah, I'm going to put in 3 championships, 5 championships, and they're going to still love me at the end of it. Nah, Klay didn't get no love at the end of that shit.
Yeah. That's the thing. I think you're right. Like I said, you may not be able to control the proverbial pay cut that you had to take, right? But at the end of the day, what you put together on court ultimately matters, right?
Mm-hmm. And he's playing like garbage. I get you. I'm not dismissing him.
Yeah, and exactly. Like it ultimately matters, but what he put together on court,
you wouldn't have told Kobe that though.
You know what I mean? And what he put together on court in prior years, like you said, right? We're competitors. Somebody get hurt, you feel me? I get hurt, and somebody out there talking shit. It don't even got to be somebody out there talking shit. It could just be me not being as sharp as I normally feel, right? So I'm gonna be out there to try to prove not just myself, but everybody else wrong, right? So like, yeah, if I did, like we said, you should be paying off respect. And if I did get that money off respect, best believe the type of person that Klay is, the type of player that he is, he's gonna work his ass off to make sure that money is justified. He's not just going to be like, oh, these niggas paid me, thank you. I'm going to be like, nah, we understand the type of person and type of player that Klay is.
Draymond got played and got fucking ejected.
You know what I mean? It's always in the gym, always working hard, right? So, like, when it comes to somebody like a Klay Thompson, that I definitely understand. And like I said, shit, hey, nigga, I done gave him the motherfucking money, right? Shit, me personally, nigga, hey, the shit that you did for this franchise can't be matched by anybody else. So, yeah, off rip, we're going to give you that money. Even though the media voted you, blah, 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 and other stuff like that. Yeah, sure, you may have missed out on the Supermax then. We're going to go ahead and get you covered on the back end.
Like,
just to take care of you.
Like, yo, bro, that shit, like, I'm a baller, bro. I fucking used to kill niggas. Bro, that shit will break my heart, bro. If I put all this shit in for this team, we did all of this, and it's just, all right, my time coming up. I'm finally going to get my bread. And it might not be exactly what I'm worth or exactly what I deserve, but you're going to pay me now. Also, I'm going to get and they just like, nah, we kind of need you to take another pay cut. Like, that shit going to hurt me, bro. It's like, yo, what the fuck do you look at me as? Chopped liver? I'm the one that's chopped liver, not Draymond. Draymond's not a splash brother. I'm the splash brother. You feel me? And I mean that shit, Moolah. I think about it from a basketball. I was very competitive when I used to ball, bro. Very competitive, bro. So I could understand it. Like, I'm one half of the duo that y'all fucking talking about all throughout the league right now. All throughout the league. And still when Klay was not himself, y'all was still calling these niggas the Splash Brothers. And then they became the Splash Pool when they had Pool and all this other shit. Klay was still in it. Not once did y'all say it was the Draymond Splash Pool or some shit like that. Claymore, nobody said that shit.
You want to know what happened? A lot, and we always say this on the show, bro. Narratives ruin a lot of things. And during that time, unfortunately, that Klay was hurt, a lot of people connected Draymond to Steph. They disconnected Klay from Steph and connected Draymond to Steph.
It's not fair to that man.
And it's definitely not, bro. It's definitely not, because I always say that you shouldn't be demoted because of injury, right? And that's exactly what a lot of people did, unfortunately. Like I said, they connected Draymond to Steph, right? Oh, well, look at how Draymond passes the ball. Look how fluent Steph moves without the ball and how Draymond finds him. And then the defense of Draymond and then the felicitation and all that stuff, right? All that stuff sounds good, especially when the other guy that normally is out there creating the space, hitting the threes, playing defense, right? Because a lot of people sit up there and act like Klay Thompson was just a three-point shooter, and like he wasn't one of the best two-way.
Yeah, 3 and D.
Two-way wings.
3 and D.
Before he got hurt.
Draymond was just playmaker in D, nigga.
Draymond was facilitation and defense, but Klay was
he was playing with
legitimately on both sides. A lot of people forgot that, right?
He was getting on your best player, nigga. He was going to try. He was going
legitimately guarding another team's best player. You know what I'm saying? So
While
like,
Draymond down there kicking Steven Adams in the dick. Like, come on, man.
when it comes to narratives, bro, they ultimately, and like I said, bro, shit, I understand why Klay Thompson don't speak to the media no more, because when it comes to narratives, they're the reasons why he didn't make first team, right? When it comes to narratives, they're the reason why a lot of people attach Draymond Green to Steph Curry, and why they attach those two success more than they attach Klay Thompson's success even now.
No.
It's a fucked up shit. You on mute, big dog. Nope, not yet.
Am I back?
Yeah, there we go. My boy's back. There he is.
No, that. But I don't. What is even the nickname for Draymond and Steph Curry?
I do not know. I don't think
Like narratives. When you talk about narratives, where was Draymond in the Splash Bro narrative? Where was Draymond in the Splash Pool narrative? He wasn't nowhere to be found in that bitch.
You know what I mean? But
he wasn't nowhere to be found in that bitch. But he get the $100 million.
Yep.
He gets it. And so for me, and I'm not downing Draymond getting his money. Like, if that's the decision you want to make, Draymond made sacrifices for the team too. He did. He made his own sacrifices for the team. You feel me? I respect that. But if I'm the guy who's signing the paychecks, and if I gotta pay one of the two guys at the on the back end, it's Klay. Like, you ultimately. I don't want to say Draymond. Draymond played a minuscule role in KD leaving, but he still played a role in it.
Fair.
He played a big ass role in y'all trading Jordan Poole, and he played a big ass role in why Klay isn't with the team. So it's like, for me, for what type of player he was, he is a good player. And like I said, great, he is a good player. I just don't think I would have went about it that way. And like I said, to me, it's just a repeat with Kuminga. Even though Kuminga doesn't have the same stain as Klay, it's just the same tactics. It's like, take this pay cut. Take this pay cut. And I need you to take one more pay cut. So I'll get you next time around. Like we all got that homeboy. I left my wallet at home. I'll get you next time around. Like, nah, I don't want you to get me next time around. You're supposed to get me 72 times around the other time. You feel me? Like, you gotta do what it gotta do, because it's gonna turn people off. It's gonna turn people off for wanting to be there, bro. I'm telling you.
That's true.
Telling you. And Golden State is a great destination to be there. Winning franchise. Somebody's gotta succeed Steph. You know, at some point, who's it gonna be? But ain't nobody gonna want to walk in those shoes. It's definitely a young person who is always gonna be in the back of his mind. And damn, look what they did to Poole. Damn, look what they did to Kuminga. Damn, look what they did to the veteran claimer. Like it's those, and you know how I know, Moo, you know how I know? Because they do it with Boston.
That's true.
Niggas still bring up the Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Niggas still bring up the Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Like, we still talk about how Boston done niggas dirty along the years. You feel me? That shit, listen, those scars last forever in sports. Those scars last forever. So I know, because y'all always bringing this shit up with Boston. So the history is going to remain the same when it comes to Golden State. You keep these tactics up, players are going to remember that shit. And they're going to use you for what they can and then bounce out the first second they fucking get. Just like Kuminga about to do. But if I'm Kuminga, I'm telling my agent, yo, I'm signing the deal with whoever, because they don't got no money to match it. You feel me? And if they do match it, guess what? The other thing is, you fuck up the roster. Who you gonna add? Because I think they still got roster spots. I think you got 6 roster spots.
Yep.
Because y'all didn't make no moves because y'all waiting on Kuminga. So let's say you do give Kuminga the money. Well, how much money you gonna have left? How much money you gonna have left to put the rest of the roster together? Like, What do you like? What do you? I don't know, bro.
Hey, I've been saying, bro, Mike Dunleavy, get off your ass, big dog.
I don't.
You ain't doing shit, man. You feel me? You ain't doing shit.
This nigga's got 10 players on their roster. Like, I guess you could play with that.
A perfect 5.
No, I guess you could play with that.
A perfect 5 each way. You feel me? Which I guess you can play with that, but it's not smart.
You can play with that. You got Steph, Jimmy, Draymond, Buddy Hill. You can play with that.
I mean, yeah, but the problems don't change, bro. They still don't have a legit big man.
But it should have never been. It should have never been Draymond. It should have been Clay, bro. I would have definitely. Just for me, and people might see it a different way. You know, I would like to, hear outsiders' opinion. You know, there's some guys and some people in the chat, man. You guys got some opinions. Let us know. How do you feel you would have went about handling the Draymond, and Golden State situation through all aspects, the fighting, the kicking in the nuts, the technicals, the the getting ejected in important games, the KD incident, and KD like, yeah, it's time for me to fucking go. The Jordan Poole incident, like the Clay leaving fucking because this nigga got to get paid. Like that shit bubbles over, and it's just like, what do you want a nigga to do? Clay don't want to be in Dallas right now, bro. I'm just gonna end it there. Clay don't want to fucking be in Dallas.
Hey, maybe Meg changed his mind, man. You know them Stanley on legs. Do something different to niggas.
He saw a horse running by. He was like, "It's Megan. It's Megan."
You know what I mean?
Gotta chase that one.
Different out there in Texas.
But wait, wasn't that his boy girl?
Who?
Clay. They did. Oh, wasn't he friends with what you call it?
Well, I don't know. Got me.
I saw a report or some shit like that, but we don't gossip over here.
Clay was friends with his shit, Steph and his dog.
No, the rapper, the one that's in jail for shooting her on the toe.
The short big head next Tory Lanez.
Yeah, there you go. I saw something that they was like friends or some shit. I don't know. But anyway, get a nigga like fuck Draymond. Let Kuminga go Golden State. I just want to see the next report. Kuminga signs with such and such, no qualifying. Like they don't fucking accept the qualifying.
Kuminga traded to ... That's all.
Like if I was Kuminga, I'll tell y'all niggas, yeah, I'm gonna sign with you, and then prolong me going in, so y'all start signing other players, and then I'm like, nope, see, I ain't got no money. I ain't got no money to sign me there. No, I tell that nigga, he said we got 100 mil left for you now. They offer me 105. They start letting niggas go.
Oh, shit.
I tried to get signed in 3 years, 12 million, but I can't afford you. Right?
Hey man, shit, you know, like that.
You do whatever they do. Golden State's gonna do whatever they can to keep Kuminga. I don't know why, man. Why you doing that guy like that?
I don't know, bro. That second apron is a bitch though.
Just shit. I know.
That second apron is a bitch though, man. I tell you what, niggas just
no.
So man, because that shit is fucking their ass up right now.
I'm trying to see what was those other young niggas that you had. Jordan Bell, Damian Lee.
Yep.
That's another guy.
We got Brandon here right now.
James Wiseman didn't pan out, so I'll give y'all that.
Quentin Post, he's the nigga we drafted last year.
I think Poole would have definitely been great for you guys right now. Yeah. Still coming off the bench.
I think Poole would have just been solid regardless.
Yeah. But you could have let go of Draymond, right? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, the same problems persisted, bro. From KD, from Jordan Poole, right? Things happened,
KD in the face.
and the team, I guess, instead of addressing it, just felt like they can just move on from it. They didn't learn from the KD situation, I guess. So when it came to the Jordan Poole situation, same things transpired.
Yeah, I mean that's what I said. It's not a reputation you want to have that you don't take care of your players.
Yeah, both
It's a bad,
financially
bad,
and
bad.
I guess mentally, if that's the case.
It's a bad, bad rap to have. But Moon, final thoughts.
Y'all know what it is, man. Another great show. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Make sure you guys tune into the rest of the shows throughout the rest of the week. Gentlemen's Talk on Wednesday. Full cast back in full effect. PVT on Thursday. Inside the Huddle. Talking that ish on Friday. Football is back. So that means we are back in full effect. Talking that football. You already know what it is. Make sure you guys keep tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, and keep bringing on this dope ass content. We'll see you next week.
Hey, he said it.